Hey there, it's Grace McClung with Valley Martial Arts Supply, and welcome to Black Belt TV's Product Profiles. Here's your host, Rafael Kosche.
Thank you, Grace. Hi, folks. Welcome back. Now, for segment 2, how to select a high-quality sword. We're going down our checklist that you can take from our website for free, download it, print it, and you can take it with you when you go to buy a sword. You can get this at valleymartialarts.com. So in this segment, we're going to go back. We're going to cover point number 9. Okay? While you're holding the sword up, you want to check its alignment. And imagine a line that goes perfectly straight all the way from the pommel through the handle, through the sword guard, and the entire length of the blade. You want it to be a perfectly straight line. You don't want it you don't want it to come up to the guard and then all of a sudden bend. You'll find that a lot of swords there's a bend right at that point. And that's a problem. You should not accept the sword like that. So you want to make sure that at every angle you look it up from the back and look at it from the front. Make sure you have a nice straight sword. It should be straight blade, straight handle, and straight all the way through the blade into the handle. Okay, point number 10. You flip the sword around and with the edge pointing towards you, but be very careful. Make sure nobody's around because a lot of these are very sharp like this one. And you want to check the same thing, that there is a nice straight line along the entire sword. Number 11, you want to check for a tight guard and sword collar and a handle. Make sure that the wraps are tight. This is very important that you have a tight fitting handle. Once you start using that sword, anything that's loose, it starts clicking and making noises. The more you use that blade, it's going to start getting loose and you're going to have problems. And you have potential problem of the sword coming apart. You can imagine how dangerous that is. Now, number 12. This one, you must have the sword owner's permission before you do this. And you must make sure that you have a lot of confidence in your grip. If you don't, make sure somebody else does this for you or bring a friend with you. This is important if you actually intend to use the sword. You grab the sword, and what you're going to do, you're going to do the sharp whipping motion. Backwards, you're trying to feel the handle. There should be no clicks, no movements whatsoever. It should be really nice. And it should be an aggressive move. Again, get a friend to do it. Make sure you have permission, and this is dangerous. Keep with the edge, turn around, and you want to do the same thing. Make sure it's aggressive. That takes you to number 12. Now, 13, point 13. Is the same thing, but now you're going to turn it to the flat side of the blade. The sword is now flat, and you're going to do the same aggressive movement. Now this is actually really shows you if you have a good sword or not, and you're going to do the same whipping motion on both sides. There should be no movement, no clicking, nothing whatsoever. I was at one of the sword shows in Vegas, and there was a gentleman selling a sword, and he claimed to be his best sword that he made. He wanted $1,400 for it. As I was doing this, I flicked the sword and went like this. I felt 2 sharp cracks. It sounded like a pencil breaking in half. It was pretty embarrassing. I turned over to the owner and said, "I'm sorry, but I humbly ask that you don't ask me to buy your sword because the handle's broken." Now, last point, number 14. Sorry about that. You want to make sure the scabbard fits. You're going to put that into your scabbard and make sure it's a good snug fit. You don't want it too tight, you want it too loose. Now do me a favor, please don't take the sword, bring it in, and go slam into it like they do in the movies. If you see somebody doing that, it's plain stupid. Okay? You could hurt yourself, you could damage the blade, you damage the scabbard. If the scabbard is too tight and you shove it in there, that scabbard is going to crack. Now, usually scabbards are made of wood. They shrink and expand with moisture. If it has shrunken during dry weather and you slam it in, it's just going to crack and now you have a cracked scabbard. Doesn't make any sense. Bring it in gently. If it's too loose, that's not a problem either because you can always shim it. There's easy ways to shim, and your swords dealer should be able to tell you how to shim a sword. When you carry a sword, always carry a thumb or a finger over it so if you tilt forward and it's loose, it doesn't fall out. That basically covers it on the fit and finish of your sword and how to select a high quality sword. Again, this is downloadable from our website, valleymartialarts.com. If you have any questions, please give us a call. This is Rafael Kosche with Black Belt TV's Product Profiles.